streets, silent market stalls, businesses forced to close, sport and events cancelled, social distancing the new norm. The NHS stretched. And every Thursday we clap them to say thank you. And as we've come out of lockdown and things are getting back to some kind of normality and businesses are reopening, what lies ahead for driving instructors who will find it difficult to socially distance within the confined spaces of a motor vehicle? In March, driving tests were suspended in the UK as the country went into lockdown. Only critical workers have been allowed to take lessons and emergency tests during this time. We spoke to Kim Miles, a recently qualified ADI, on the challenges of lockdown and what lies ahead.
So I work part-time anyway. I work about 20 hours a week. My diary was full. In the lead up to lockdown, I had people of varying levels, quite a lot of tests that were going to happen within the next couple of months, and quite a lot of new starters as well. Most people that I teach go to the University of York, so my diary started to slow down when the university started to shut down. The more the uni shut down, the more the students started to go home, my diary started to empty. I made the decision myself to stop teaching 3 days before the official lockdown was announced. I personally felt like it was time. There was enough fear in myself and the people that I was teaching that being in a closed environment probably wasn't the best idea, and I didn't want to be making anybody feel uncomfortable. So I personally made the decision to stop before it was announced by the government. For me, lockdown has been a bit of a struggle. I live at home on my own with my 4-year-old son. They don't really understand the concept of it, so it's been very difficult not having access to family, friends, nursery, things that would normally give me a bit of relief, and then the added stress of not knowing when or if I will be going back to work. I didn't qualify for any of the government help. I didn't qualify for the grant. I qualified to become a driving instructor. I took my final test only about a month before lockdown. I haven't been self-employed for long enough to apply for any of the help that the government have handed out. I think I would qualify for the loan. I didn't want the burden of paying back any more loans in the long term. I am planning to restart work the week commencing the 6th of July. Still waiting for confirmation 100% in terms of government guidelines, but I am getting myself ready to be able to start for the week starting the 6th. So every morning before I set off for my first lesson, I will be completely sanitising the car. That's everything from steering wheel, the gear stick, everything down to your indicators, thinking of door handles, anything that anybody might touch will be sanitised at the start of the day. I will also be doing that in between each lesson as well, maybe giving myself an extra 15 minutes in between lessons just to make sure that is done properly. I will then be thoroughly doing that again at the end of the day, ready to start the next day again. At the minute I'm hoping to start lessons without the use of face masks, but I am waiting for confirmation from the government and the DVSA before that's finalised. I'm hoping and expecting to be busy once business restarts again. A lot of people wanting to get back out on the roads, so yeah, hoping business is back to usual as soon as possible. Throughout lockdown, I have stayed in touch with my existing customers fortnightly. They're all happy to restart when I'm restarting again, reassuring them what's going to be in place in terms of what's going to be happening with sanitising the car. I haven't lost any customers throughout this. Everybody that I was teaching before is happy to restart when I'm back out on the road again.
I've been trying to keep myself busy gardening. I've got a very big garden. I've run out of gardening work to do now, so I'm tackling next doors now. Other than that, shopping for other people, just trying to help out where I can and keep busy really. Cleaning, I've never cleaned so much in my life. My house is immaculate, but just trying to keep busy really and trying to stay away from the food cupboard. I'm hoping it won't affect me too much financially, as we are currently inundated with people needing driving lessons. However, the gaps in between each lesson needs to be increased in order to cleanse the car, and simple things that people don't think about. Us driving instructors do not have bathroom facilities, so we can't just run into a supermarket because there's queues now outside the supermarkets. So that will be a problem. I don't think we're going to be able to fit as many pupils as we normally do during the day, so therefore probably increasing the lesson times might be beneficial in order to get around that problem. I was off the week before because I had to socially distance from everybody else. I think it's self-isolation because I had a cold, so I was actually in isolation the week before lockdown. But as soon as lockdown happened, I had to contact all my pupils and shut my business down, which was quite scary because it's taken 17 years to build it. So to shut it down was actually quite daunting, to be honest. And then obviously organise food and things like that and try and stay in as much as possible.
The Driver and Vehicle Standards Agency has now issued a further update that driving tuition can recommence from the 4th of July, with tests restarting from the 22nd of July. But for some instructors, could it already be the end of the road?